Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. Tonight, we bring you a special report on the latest developments from around the world. Iran's mysterious health situation continues to unfold as the country unveils a mural honoring its top leaders' alleged martyrdom. Meanwhile, tensions are escalating in the Middle East over energy resources, and diplomacy efforts between nations take center stage. We'll also be taking a closer look at the latest Russia-Ukraine conflict and new developments in the Iran-US peace talks. Let's dive into our recap of these pressing global stories. As tensions in Iran continue to simmer, a new development has raised questions about the health of a key figure at the heart of the crisis. A recent development in Iran has left many questions unanswered about the health condition of Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei, the country's supreme leader. The 83-year-old cleric was spotted leaving his home in Tehran on Saturday, sparking speculation about his well-being. According to eyewitnesses, Khamenei was seen at a military ceremony, where he delivered a speech and shook hands with troops. The incident has raised concerns among some observers that the supreme leader's health is deteriorating rapidly. Iranian authorities have dismissed rumors about Khamenei's condition, saying that his appearance at public events is a normal part of his duties. However, many analysts believe that Khamenei's age and declining health could potentially lead to a power struggle within the Islamic Republic. Khamenei has been leading Iran since 1989, following the death of his predecessor Ayatollah Khamenei. His passing would be followed by a succession process, which could involve other powerful figures in Iranian politics. The situation is closely watched by regional and global powers, who are keen to understand the implications for Iran's domestic politics and its relationships with neighboring countries. The country's oil industry, economy, and security policies have all been shaped by Khamenei's leadership over the years. As Iran's politics continues to evolve, one thing is clear: Mojtaba Khamenei's health condition will be a major topic of discussion in the coming weeks and months. As tensions continue to rise in global energy markets, a critical pipeline is set to play a pivotal role in the shift from oil to gas. The conflict between the US and Iran has been ongoing for weeks, with both countries establishing a ceasefire in recent days. However, this temporary reprieve has come at a significant economic cost. The war has disrupted global supply chains, leading to shortages of essential goods such as oil, natural gas, jet fuel, tungsten, sulfur, and fertilizer. But one industrial input that is often overlooked, but no less important, is helium. This colorless and lighter-than-air gas plays a vital role in many cutting-edge technologies, including semiconductors, medical equipment, and fiber optics. Without it, the consequences would be severe from an economic perspective. Nicholas Snyder, CEO of North American Helium, which produces over 7% of the helium supply in North America, warns that the impact of a helium shortage would be gigantic. He notes that many critical technologies rely on helium to function properly. Semiconductors, for example, use helium as a coolant to prevent overheating and maintain their performance. Fiber optic cables also rely on helium to keep them stable and free from damage. The US is heavily reliant on Iranian imports of helium, which has put the country at risk during the conflict. However, with the establishment of a ceasefire, it seems that this disruption may soon come to an end. But even with a temporary reprieve, the long-term impact of the war on global supply chains and industry is still unknown. As one expert notes, the consequences of not having helium are gigantic in an economic sense. As tensions between Iran and Saudi Arabia continue to escalate, a key player emerges from Russia with a potential solution to the long-standing conflict. Iran's diplomatic efforts to end the war with the United States and Israel are intensifying, with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi arriving in Russia for talks with President Vladimir Putin. This visit follows earlier meetings with Omani officials and comes as tensions remain high over a ceasefire agreement that was brokered by Pakistan. In April, Washington and Tehran agreed to a temporary ceasefire following more than a month of fighting that began with US and Israeli attacks on Iran. However, the truce has since been strained by disputes over shipping through the Strait of Hormuz and a US blockade on Iranian ports. Pakistan is still involved in back-channel efforts to prevent a return to open conflict between the two sides, according to Al Jazeera's Tawhid Asadi, who reports from Tehran. Russia is likely to play a central role in any next phase of the conflict, with Asadi saying that Iran has several demands and is trying to prioritize them based on the situation. One key issue is the situation at the Strait of Hormuz, which remains a critical choke point for international trade. Another is the possibility of extending the ceasefire or another confrontation. Iran's diplomatic push in Russia comes as U.S. President Donald Trump scrapped plans to send Special Envoy Stephen Miller to negotiate with Iranian officials, reportedly due to disagreements over the terms of the truce. The conflict has significant implications for regional and global stability, particularly given the involvement of Israel and Lebanon in a parallel conflict that threatens to complicate negotiations. As tensions remain high, diplomats on all sides are working to find a resolution to the crisis before it escalates further. As tensions between Iran and the U.S. remain at a boiling point, we now have word that Tehran has submitted a new proposal to President Trump. Iran has reached out to the United States with a phone call in an attempt to negotiate an end to the war between the two nations. According to President Trump, Iran can contact the U.S. through a phone call if they wish to engage in talks. If they want to talk, they can come to us, or they can call us, Trump said in an interview on Fox News. This development comes after Trump canceled a trip by his envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, to Pakistan earlier this week. The U.S. delegation was scheduled to meet with Pakistani officials to discuss the ongoing conflict, but Trump stated that it would be too far to travel without a plan. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi departed Islamabad after speaking only to Pakistani officials, but has since returned despite the absence of his U.S. counterparts. Araqi had previously said he discussed the latest developments related to the ceasefire and Tehran's views and considerations with Pakistani officials. The Iran war is having a significant impact on the global economy, with the British government scrambling to secure supplies of carbon dioxide for food producers and breweries. The UK is also drawing up contingency plans for potential jet fuel shortages this summer. Chief Secretary to the Treasury Darren Jones stated that if there were problems with jet fuel during holidays and carbon dioxide during the World Cup, the summer might be pretty depressing for people. The situation remains tense, with Israel ordering civilians to evacuate several towns in southern Lebanon despite a 3-week ceasefire agreement. Hezbollah and Israel blame each other for violations, highlighting the complexity of the conflict. As tensions escalate on the eve of a somber anniversary, devastating attacks by Russian forces continue to wreak havoc in eastern Ukraine today. At least 21 people have been killed in Russia's strikes on Ukraine on the anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. The attacks occurred on Tuesday, with reports indicating that Russian forces targeted multiple cities, including Kropivnitsky and Vinnytsia. The Ukrainian military has confirmed that civilians were among those killed, with many more injured. This latest wave of violence comes as tensions between Russia and Ukraine continue to escalate over the country's involvement in the conflict in eastern Ukraine. The Chernobyl disaster, which occurred in 1986, was a catastrophic nuclear accident that had far-reaching consequences for Europe. In recent months, Ukraine has been seeking to strengthen ties with European countries, including those related to its ongoing dispute with Russia over nuclear safety and security. Russia's actions are seen as a reckless attempt to intimidate Ukraine and undermine international efforts to promote peace in the region. The incident highlights the need for greater diplomatic engagement between Russia and Western countries, as well as increased support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The international community has condemned the Russian attacks, with many leaders calling for an end to hostilities and a return to diplomacy. As the situation continues to unfold, it remains to be seen how this incident will impact global relations and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine. That's all for today's news recap. We'll continue to bring you updates on the latest developments in Iran-Russia relations, the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Iran, and other global stories that matter. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll see you in the next video.